Good afternoon, SpeedGaming fans. Welcome to week 4 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. My name is Tracy, and with me today is Edium. How are you doing, Edium?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. I've been looking forward to this week. It's one of my favorite modes.
Yeah, this is a really neat mode in my opinion. It's going to be a spoiler log where one player is playing and each runner is going to have somebody piloting them through this seed.
Yeah, and it'll be key sanity, so they are going to have to find lots of different items, and it could get pretty complicated with some of the key logic. So the pilot has quite a task on their hands.
Yeah, and I believe it's Catabat piloting for Alexhax, and is it Lynn? Should look this up, make sure I get it right.
Yep, Lynn
piloting for Goomba. So it's an interesting matchup. We do have a 5-1 Last Locationers team versus a 1-5 Major Mistakes team. So Major Mistakes definitely on the outside looking in of things right now, and really could use a win here. It's a tough week for that sort of thing though, because with the spoiler log, the stronger players are going to skip a lot more stuff, and of course you don't have the troll of the ice rod in a really bad spot to help you out because you know where it is. But still, things can happen. It is still key sandy, and you still have to read the spoiler log. And if anybody watched the spoiler log tournament last summer, definitely there are times when people have misread or misinterpreted certain things in the spoiler log. So still lots of stuff that can happen. Yeah,
for sure. So generally the way these goes is you don't actually get the spoiler log until the race starts. So you don't have any time to plan your route or prepare anything. So for the first, 10 or 15 minutes of the seed, you're just kind of winging it, trying to get where you need to go as fast as possible. But it takes a while for the pilot to really be able to analyze the spoiler log and figure out a good route.
Yeah, that works out pretty well because, you do your normal standard start, go to Kakariko, go to South Shore, that sort of thing, while your pilot tries to parse the spoiler log. We don't have the spoiler log in front of us either. We'll have access to it at some point, but our tracker, Jinxie Girl, is going to have it, and she'll be able to mark everything up once the match starts up.
So I'm kind of curious to see how runners start out. I remember like last year, some runners would just start off with a hula hand just to make sure they get money right away. But at the same time, when you have the spoiler log, you know where all those big money drops are. So you can kind of just go straight to one of them if there's one accessible.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, the hula hand play is not a bad idea. Just kind of, while your pilot starts figuring things out. But yeah, so definitely a good way to start. But yeah, there's still, lots of places you can go before you figure it out, and time to look at things and okay. And there's a question in chat. They actually don't get time to review. They'll get the spoiler log right at the beginning because remember, it's one person with the spoiler log and one person playing. So the person not playing has all the time in the world essentially to look. I say that in the sense of they don't have a deadline like the 5 minutes, like 5 or 10. I guess what is it, 15 minutes in a spoiler log race by itself?
Yeah, usually 15 minutes, but it can be any amount. But in this, 0 preparation time. So I'm looking at the race room here. It looks like we might be having some technical issues.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
So we might be delayed a little bit here. Oh, and we do see our one of our pilots in the chat there, Lynn. So for this week and this week only, you are allowed to watch the restream to get a sense of how far behind or ahead you are. And that's generally true in most spoiler log races because there's no hidden information. You know where everything is. So yeah, some kind of issue with the seed here. I'm not really sure what it is because they both seem to have a seed loaded, but
well, in the meantime, there's a question about what is a spoiler log race. Basically, every seed that we roll in Randomizer can come with a spoiler log. Typically, a race seed, you won't actually be able to download the spoiler log. If you ever go ahead and create a seed for yourself just to play for fun, you can always download a spoiler log for that. And what it does, it tells you where all the items are. It tells you all the locations, all the items, and you can look it up. So what we do, what we're doing for this week is we're giving one player that spoiler log to look at, so they can look up and know all the item locations, while the other one is just running the actual race. And that's what a spoiler log is.
Yeah, so now I've done piloting for a bunch of these, and like some of the hardest stuff to do is knowing which keys you need and which ones you don't need.
Yep.
Especially with more complicated dungeons like Pod and Turtle Rock. So really takes quite a bit of like game knowledge. You have to know the game very well to pilot these effectively. And of course you have to be used to reading the spoiler log.
So you have to know which is the actual map chest or which is the actual compass chest. Because, when you're playing Randomizer, you don't really pay attention to those things very much. You just open the chests that are there, and maybe you don't always remember which one is the actual map chest. So when the spoiler log tells you map chest of Eastern Palace, you need to know what that is.
All right, so we are running a bit behind. We're having some technical issues. Trying to get those resolved as quick as possible. But I'm not quite sure how long that's going to take here.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad. Yeah, we got people working on it right now.
So a couple of things that are important to note as early as you can, or as early as you get a chance to look them up. You want to look up some of those really annoying checks, like obviously like pedestal, lumberjack, and another big one you want to know early is Zora. You got to know if you need to farm that money up or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even some of the other money checks, like getting in a pod, you need 110 rupees for that. You need 100 rupees for Pyramid Fairy, chest aim, dig game, bottle vendor, maybe a few others I'm forgetting. But having with the spoiler log, you're skipping a lot of those money drops, so it's very easy to accidentally lose track of your money and try to do a check and just not have the money for it.
Yeah, and you'll also see, just in general, you're not going to pick up as many of the arrows and the bombs that you just randomly pick up. So ammo management is definitely a big deal in spoiler, and if you know what pots have what bombs and what arrows, that definitely gives you a nice advantage.
Yeah, for sure. And on the execution side, of course, just like any spoiler log seed, you're skipping as much safeties as you can. You're only picking up the ones you really absolutely need. And that makes it very, very tough down the stretch when you're just in go mode and you just have to whip through some bosses. And you might be on 6 hearts green mail and barely have any safeties. Maybe like a red potion if you're lucky.
Yeah, definitely, because some of the safeties are just not going to be on the way. You're not going to pick them up. If they're in a good place, then yeah, you'll want them. But doesn't sometimes those mail upgrades will just be in bad locations, and you might not want to pick up that many hearts. And it's hard to get to them. You're not opening chests by accident. Well, not by accident. You're not opening all those extra chests and getting all those hearts.
Yeah. So I'm still not really sure what's happening. Unfortunately, we are just waiting for someone to fix these technical issues. I'm not really sure. I think the problem is the bot is not working, so it won't give the runners the spoiler log.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I'm getting, and kind of hard to do a spoiler log race without a spoiler log. So.
All right. Looks like we do have some more.
I'm
people on the
laughing
team.
at Goomba. Goomba's new name there. Okay, we do have. Looks like we got some experts working on this right now. It looks like Goomba's having fun at least.
All right, I think what's going to happen is they're going to roll a new seed. So it might take a minute for the runners to download and get that seed loaded up. But it should hopefully be not too much longer, maybe a couple more minutes.
Okay, it looks like they did manage to roll a new seed. Or maybe not.
Yeah, let's get our hype in chat for the bot. Yeah, no, they don't get any time to read the log. They get it as soon as the race starts.
Yeah, apologies if this is taking so long, but hopefully you'll hang with us and we'll get things set up.
So another thing to note is there are a few like little bonus bits of info you get in the spoiler log. So you get to know obviously all your crystals and pendants. You get to know what opens Mire and Turtle Rock, what medallions you need, and you also you get stuff like the stun prize, the tree pulls,
Yep.
and the bush crab drops, things like that. So that allows you to plan your route in the early game a little better, making sure you get some bombs or money. So those things can help.
Now Alex is taking his turn, having some fun with some naming conventions here. But yeah, Sinek working very hard at work, and shout outs to Sinek for all that he's done, not just for the league, but he was the brains behind all the race rooms and getting things to work for SG Live last week. So definitely working hard and making sure things are going.
All right. So we got to make sure. All right, looks like Alexhax has the new seed loaded. I think Goomba still needs to grab it.
Yep, looks like it. Looks like that. Because hashes not matching is never a good thing. So.
Yeah.
Okay, now they've got the matching seeds.
Yep, Cattlebat is the pilot for Alexhax, and Lin is the pilot for Goomba. So if you're just joining us, we are running a little late due to some technical issues, but I think we're going to get started. I hope we're going to get started in a couple minutes here. Looks like both runners have the new seed loaded. And yeah, if you're not sure what we're doing, this is a spoiler log key sanity seed. So regular 7/7 key sanity defeat Ganon. And what happens is both runners have one of their teammates as the pilot, and that teammate gets the spoiler log and has to relay all the information to the runner as fast as they can and plan a route throughout the seed.
Okay, I'm seeing the right spoiler log is going to be available, so that's pretty important. But I gotta make sure we know where everything is. But yeah, like we talked about this earlier, but might as well remind people. Yeah, this is a little bit different. So first of all, we're not running on a delay, so we don't have the 10-minute delay that's customary. And the runners and the pilots can actually be in chat. They can watch the restreams. They can pretty much watch everything they want.
Yep. So certainly a combination of game knowledge and of course execution is both are very important to having success in this mode.
It looks like we're actually getting a third seed, but the third seed, everyone assures us that the third seed is going to work. So third time's a charm, right?
All right, so we do apologize for the delay. This is the first race in this mode for this week, so we're just kind of trying to iron out some kinks here. Hopefully this won't happen for the next races.
Okay, we have matching hashes, and it's the same one I saw in the race room, so we should be good to go.
All right, just waiting on the runners. Oh, they're both ready. Okay, I'm not sure what we're waiting for then. We should be starting here pretty soon. All right, finally. We can confirm the race is starting. Okay, so it should be just a few seconds here.
And there is a spoiler log posted in the race room. With stream delay, we'll catch up. We'll catch up with you in just a little bit, and yeah, we good to go.
Yeah, so like we were saying, we're not gonna look a whole lot at the spoiler log. We are gonna note the crystals, pendants, and the medallion requirements. But beyond that, everything else is pretty much just gonna be a surprise for us.
Yep, a little easier. I kind of like not knowing. Our tracker Jinxie girl, she's the one that needs to know, so she can mark everything up, and it's a little different tracking. I don't know if it's easier or harder. You'd have to ask them. I just think tracking is hard in general. But on the one hand, you can look up all the item locations, but on the other hand, everything's going to come a lot faster at you because you're not going to have the downtime of seeing chests open with arrows and bombs and a pod, already a pod small key. And pod being a pendant, so that tells me there's something in there. Or
Yeah,
it could be just they're just, you know what, I take that back. This is still the point where the pilots are studying the spoiler log. They may not.
Yeah, I mean, you
may not be far enough along to even know. But the pod small key, you always want to make sure you pick those up.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to see a Houlihan play here from Alexhax. Goomba, meanwhile, though, going straight over, getting some bombs from the bush grab, so
Nice
that's
bush
nice.
grab.
And going for a tree pull here.
A
Red
nice money
Rupee is
tree
also
pull.
very useful.
Yeah, maybe it will be that the first thing that Lynn beelines on that spoiler log is what are the tree pulls, what is the bush grab, and when you see that kind of value in those things, then you just want to do them.
Yeah, so Goomba saving and quitting must have got the word from his pilot Lynn that there's nothing in the Lost Woods, and we're going straight down to the dam.
Yeah, it could be that there's not a whole lot in Kakariko. Just as likely, there might be a flute here or a bottle for a sick kid check to make the Kakariko visit a little bit more efficient. And or a mirror.
That's certainly something you want to grab early. And going back in for the second item.
And yeah, mirror. We do need that mirror. We do need it for Swamp Palace.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that Houlihan play probably not really going to work out since we do have that tree pull to farm money if we need it.
And the flute. Yeah,
right.
there's your reason for doing Kakariko second. You want that flute so you can activate it the first time through the village. And knowing that it's easily picked up beforehand, then you might as well just go pick it up and then go to the village.
Yeah. So we do have the crystals and pendants updated. Looks like we got Pod and Mire as the regular pendants, Ice as a green pendant, and our 5-6 crystals at Desert and Swamp.
I wonder if there's something on that Pyramid Fairy that's potentially a pretty early, depending on when you get your Swamp Palace items.
Alright, so I'm heading now into Kakariko. We are going into Blind's Hut.
5 items in here. Not surprised that there might be something good in here. Big key to Mire. Hookshot, that's definitely important. Powder, a nice safety. And a cape. I wonder if there's anything on that magic bat, too. The big key to Mire is an interesting one because that is a pendant. And so I wonder if that is one he just, if that was a just full clear the thieves the hut, or if it's you absolutely need this because there's something important in Misery Mire.
Yeah, I mean, this early in the race, it's really hard to figure out. So you just grab it because it's right there. If it took longer to get it, then you would probably go and figure out if you actually need it.
Yeah, I agree. We have synced flute activations, but no one jumping into the well, it looks like.
Yeah, so we are going past the well, not even Chicken Hut, not doing Bottle Vendor. We do get Turtle Rock key there in the tavern.
Yeah, we do need at least 3 small keys to finish Turtle Rock. I guess it's 4 logically, but you can always steal the 1 pokey key.
Yeah, you only need 4 Turtle Rock keys if you have to get the big key chest in the middle of the dungeon.
Yep. And we're heading over to, looks like Sarasala. We'll see if an Eastern play follows. Maybe there's a bow in here.
And Alexhax actually going for Chicken Hut, so I'm guessing this is not a required item. Oh, it's
Small
key to pod.
So that's our second pod,
Okay.
small key.
So, yeah, Lin and Goomba may have put that off because, again, maybe you don't need it, especially with pod being a pendant. And they have the flute, so they can always come back there later if they have to get it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an early item in pod, you might need only 2 of those small keys. And there might be one that's more on path.
Yeah, so we did also see a glove out of Sahasral's hut, and Goomba now heading straight to East Death Mountain with that hook shot.
Yeah, Death Mountain, those boulders, that's pretty dangerous just on 3 hearts. You see he's already down to 1, but should be okay now. That hook shell will help you against the dead rocks as well.
Yeah, Goomba taking care to stun all those dead rocks, just not leaving anything to chance.
Interesting that Alex went out of his way to grab a 300 rupee drop from Blind's hut, so it'll be interesting to see what he wants that money for and where Goomba and Lynn decide to pick up that same money.
Yeah, I imagine they would have picked that up if there was something on Zora, so it's possible Alex just wants it just for maybe buying potions or something later.
And already mitts. And a convenient heart container, so now we're on 4 hearts. Okay, it looks like Alex is going to follow in Goomba's footsteps and unfortunately takes a hit from the dead rock. That's a very unfortunate place to take a death. We'll have to go... Oh, and he didn't even... Yeah, since he didn't rescue the old man, because probably nothing of consequence to that item, you do have a flute. He is going to have to go back to Link's house and flute from there, lose a little bit of time there.
Yeah, and Goomba now heading into Super Bunny Cave. Not in logic, but with the spoiler log, we don't really care about logic. We can still grab this item with the Super Bunny glitch.
Oh, and that's a sword. And Alex continued to have issues getting through the Death Mountain area.
Yeah, it's very rough on 3 hearts.
Yeah, a shame he doesn't have any magic to use that cape with. Okay, I'm gonna flute away to... Already going to the Misery Mire area, so... that Mire Big Key pickup may actually become significant here.
Well, we don't have the Moon Pearl yet.
Not yet. We have a mirror and a mitt, so I wonder if the Moon Pearl's sitting here over at Checkerboard.
Yeah, it could be Checkerboard Desert. We are going into Mire Shed, though. We can also, with the mirror, we can Super Bunny and get this item.
I think he's just trying to get away from the
bird.
bird.
He's getting the bird, okay.
Yeah. That's pretty smart, because I think those things are like... It's either 3 or 4 hearts of damage in this situation, so right now he'd be 1-hit KO, so...
Yeah.
And there it is.
Good little Moon Pearl and Checkerboard.
Yep, everyone's favorite. Okay, so we're not going into the Mire area yet. Definitely a Moon Pearl that in a normal race you don't get to until much later.
Alright, so now we are heading into the Dark World. And starting off with the Thieves Town area.
We don't have a Thieves Town Big Key yet, so this may or may not be the Thieves Town player. Possibly the Big Key is sitting here somewhere. But there is a hammer here, which is super important, so...
Yeah, definitely want to grab that as early as possible. Alright, Goomba running right past Thieves Town. Nothing in the brewery, nothing in C-shaped house. Alexhax, meanwhile, got that first glove off Death Mountain, now going to grab the one from Saha. And we're going straight for the smith chain. So this could be something on the smiths themselves or possibly in the purple chest, since you have to do the smith before the purple chest.
Yep. Gonna ignore those hammer pegs. Apparently they hold nothing for us. I do gotta say, I kind of like the way Goomba and Lynn routed this a little bit better, getting their Saha glove first so they could get boots on the smith chain. That's why we wanted to go there. But anyway, routing that glove on Saha first, so that he could just single dip the mountain to get the second one, or to get the stuffing. Get the sword, really.
Yeah. Looks like we're doing the purple chest as well.
That's nice to have something on the smith before you have to go to the purple chest, rather than having to waste your time doing it and not getting anything out of it. It is a big key to something. A big key to Eastern. Yep, that's an important one. Eastern Palace, one of those dungeons that hard requires the big key. There are 2 dungeons that don't require the big key at all. That'd be Swamp and Skull Woods. And with some of the glitches that we found, and 2 dungeons that don't hard require the big key but logically do. Those would be the Tower of Hera and the Ice Palace.
Alright, we are headed into the castle now. And, okay, going to the back of the castle first. Or not the back, but the front of his gate, rather.
Yep.
He could also dip into Aga Tower if there's something in the first chest. With this being Key Sanity, there are items in Aga Tower, not just keys.
Whatever it is, it's not in that first chest. I'm trying to remember if Goomba actually went back into the mire shed where Alex is right now. Let's see if there's...
He did. Well, he did the mire shed before grabbing the moon pearl, actually. Or no, he didn't.
No, he just ducked out of it. Yeah, no, he hasn't been there yet, because that's a fire rod.
That's right, he walked in just to reset the bird. Interesting. I'm surprised he didn't grab those on his way out.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay, so there was a fire rod and a pod small as well in there. Not sure, again, if those are required. But the fire rod certainly is.
Yeah, we do need a fire rod at some point.
Looks like Alex is now heading into Agina, which Goomba, I'm pretty sure, did not do.
Yeah, did not do this one. Small key to Skull Woods.
Wow, that's surprising.
Usually you can get around picking up any, if you know where the items are. It's not that hard to get around picking up all the Skullwood small keys, so I'm wondering what that's about. Yeah,
I mean, possibly there's something like in one of the chests in the front that you can get quicker with a small key, but with the flute and Titansmiths, it's so fast to get back there. I don't see why they went for that key rather than just jumping in and saving and quitting.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Goomba going back over to the mire area probably wants to get that fire rod. But keep in mind, I mean, the pilots, Lynn and Catabat, they got this log right as the race started, so they don't get a whole lot of time to study it. So it's entirely possible that, you know, Lynn saw, hey, we got to get that moon pearl, and didn't quite catch that there's also a fire rod in that area as well. Yeah.
Again, the first like 15-20 minutes are very hectic, and this is very hard to route perfectly. But generally, once you get around the 25 to 30 minute mark, that's around when you start to have everything in place. So the pilots are still working very hard in the background at this point. So we do see Alexhax heading into Thieves Town, grabbing a big key to Thieves Town. Okay.
Okay, well there you go. Not an easy Thieves Town for Alex here. 4 hearts, blue mail is okay, but no sword yet, and hammer blind. So I wonder if there's a sword in here. Red cane, though, you could fight blind with the red cane.
You could, but it doesn't have very much magic.
Yeah, he'd have to find. You're right. He'd have to find a magic resource from somewhere.
Yeah, and he hasn't got that sword from Super Bunny Cave.
No, so he's got some bad choices in terms of how to do this fight. And
Goomba,
we're gonna find
meanwhile-
out what is in Mire. There's something in Mire.
Yeah.
Big key to desert. Yep, that's important. Can't do desert without the big key.
And there's something else in here. So Goomba's heading over to the switch room.
Yeah, interesting that Alex is opening more chests. The last 2 chests have been a 20 rupee and a map to something or another. And of course, in spoiler, you don't really need those maps.
Yeah. Again, this is hard to say, but sometimes it could just be like, maybe not reading the spoiler log quickly enough sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, if the
Goomba
chest is
also
right-
getting a master sword there
Yeah.
in Mire.
Yeah, if a chest is right on your path, and your pilot doesn't quite know what it is, it doesn't hurt to take the second or 2 extra to pick it up. And we got something in the cutscene. Thieves Town, of course, one of those dungeons, not a good go mode dungeon. Most of the chests are so on path that it doesn't really hurt to just go ahead and open them up.
Yeah, the one decent thing here for Alexhax is he'll at least be able to turn in the maiden and have that already there in the boss room, so he can just come back later and finish it whenever he wants.
And we do find a shovel in Thieves' Attic and flippers in Mire. Mire is pretty stacked today. And I'm guessing Goomba now going to go ahead and head over into Thieves Town himself. He'll have a much easier Thieves Town with that Master Sword, as opposed to Alex's no sword.
Yeah, Alex is definitely going to bust out the powder here. Useful in Thieves Town for sure.
And yeah, very convenient that big key is sitting there right in the dungeon itself.
Yeah, and Goomba, with having picked up those boots and swords, is, like you said, going to have such an easier time here. And we do have the GT big key in the back of Thieves.
That's always important.
Yeah, so there is an important item back here, but it's not something you need anytime soon. Alright, so Alexhax gonna go in here with, he's got hammer, he's got enough magic for a few Samaria blocks, but he's gonna have to do at least some of this fight with the hammer.
Yeah, he's already taken some damage. This is dangerous. The underrated safety in this fight, honestly, is the fire shield. Most people don't like to pick up those shields, but this is one of those places where it actually comes in handy. And unfortunately, Alex does take a death to blind.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll abandon this for now. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can come back later here.
Yeah, come back with a sword and you'll be fine. Whereas with that sword, Goomba is going to have a much easier time. He can follow the normal blind script and be fine. There's that Quake medallion for Turtle Rock that we'll need.
Yeah, so, yeah, Goomba not grabbing that earlier, but, I mean, he has to come back here for Thieves Town, so not a big deal.
And now Alex is going to do his smith chain, get his goodies there. So I see a question about the swords in. So the swords are in kind of bad spots. There's one in Super Bunny Cave that Goomba got out of logic with the Super Bunny glitch. The other one is sitting in Misery Mire, so not exactly nice sword locations. I wonder if we'll even see the other two swords, given that, if they're in really bad spots as well. You can see the difference on Goomba's side for the blind fight.
Yeah. Accidental sword spin there in the third phase throws him off a little bit, but still gets through pretty nicely. And there is an Ice Palace small key. Not sure if that's going to be helpful because Ice is a green pendant.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't, Ice Palace, another one of those dungeons that when you have all the items, you really don't need the small keys.
Yeah, having one Ice small key is nice. Lets you route the dungeon a little more effectively, but not required.
And Alex taking an extra heart container on his way over to turn in that purple chest.
And Goomba just not concerned about that health right now. And yeah, Goomba didn't pick up the Quake, so he's gonna have to come back for that. Digging up a tempered sword.
Wow, those are really bad sword spots, I gotta say.
That is the first spot first sword for Alex.
Yep. But I don't expect to see another sword at this point. Tempered is very comfortable for most runners. There's only a few spots where having a gold sword really saves time for top runners.
Yeah, we're not going to see the gold sword unless it's like very, very much free.
Exactly. So to answer the question, chat, the shovel is in the Thieves' Town attic.
Right, going into Hype Cave, we get the Turtle Rock big key.
That's an important big key. And a bow.
Oh, nothing
else.
Two
really good items in Hype Cave. That's really good. That to me is a good Hype Cave.
Alright, so let's see, where is Goomba off to next?
Eastern, maybe? Nope. He does have everything he needs for that dungeon, but he might be able to route it more cleaner later.
Okay, so it looks like he might be going to do Skullwoods, and then maybe also remembering that he needs to grab that Quake medallion. Oh no, he's saving Skullwoods for later.
Okay, maybe he's going to get the Quake. I thought he had the cane. I know that Alex has it, but
yeah, the cane was in front of Thieves' Town.
So if there's an ice rod in nearby, maybe he's just going to go ahead and do Turtle Rock now. Maybe there's something he needs there.
We do see a castle tower key in the back of Hype Cave, but Goomba skipped that. So I'm going to assume it's not required for anything.
Yeah, same. Okay, we are going to do Skullwoods now. Okay.
And Alexhax, okay, dashing a little bit too far here. It looks like he's headed up to the castle now.
Okay, Desert?
Monkey Desert. That's probably what they wanted the Skullwood Small for, but it looks like Alexhax is also going for the Skullwood Small. This is really surprising because I would think it's just faster to skip this key.
Yep, I would think so too. We're just routing a safety heart container.
Well, there's the second castle tower key. Maybe Aga. I don't know.
What would at this point? There's nothing to need Aga for. But the tower itself could have items in it.
The tower could have items. Lumberjack could have something.
That's true.
I mean, at this point, maybe he's just picking it up because they aren't sure if egg is required yet.
Well, all along, Alex is picking up more chests on path in general.
Yeah, and again, that could be like just a communications issue, like not necessarily telling your runner every single chest to get. Okay. I do want to say, like, the piloting these is very complicated. It's not
for sure.
Not simple at all.
I would think the pilot's got the hard job.
Yeah, it's just so hard to route everything perfectly. Very nice moth fight from Goomba.
A free heart container. That's a honestly, in spoiler, a heart container from the boss is kind of a nice thing. Gets you that extra little safety without any cost.
Yeah.
Looks like Alex is going to make that Meyer play to get all the goodies there. And I think Goomba still has to pick up that Quake. We do know that he has the Bombo since he's already been in Misery Mire, though. And heading... Okay, this could be the desert play. Yeah. And he went out of his way to pick up that desert small key, which you don't need to actually beat the dungeon in a key sanity mode, but does open up 2 chests on the right side.
Alex got to be careful here. He's taking a lot of damage on the way into Mire.
Okay, Goomba picking up a potion. It's got red in it, so it's a bit of safety, or it could be something on Sick Kid, I suppose. Ah, Ice Rod.
Yeah, certainly that's required.
Yeah, so that desert small key, hard required.
Alexhax picking up a 20 rupees off of the bridge chest. So again, this is just kind of showing, I think, the routing experience that the last locationers have.
Yep.
They just know very quickly what chest to go to. Major mistakes having a little more trouble figuring out which chest they need.
Yeah, and for a spoiler, 6 hearts blue mail is not bad for safety. Not great, but not bad.
Alexhax trying to go for that spike chest, but just not enough health. Tried to use the cape, but didn't have much magic either.
We're going to go ahead and do his landmill fight. It should make quick work of him with a temper sword and a fire rod. Misses 1 fire rod shot. Clean it up in the next round. And an important Turtle Rock small key. So that gives us, I believe that gives us our second Turtle Rock small key. He'll need at least 1 more to complete that dungeon. Hopefully he doesn't need 3. He doesn't need all 4.
Yep. So in terms of what the runners still need to pick up, there's really not much. We do need, as you said, 1 more Turtle Rock key, and we need a Swamp Palace small key.
Yep.
But that's it. And Goomba does still have to go back for that Quake, which is in the brewery. Now Alexhax again down to half a heart here. Really
rough.
Struggling.
Oh.
Tries to powder the anti-fairy and runs into it.
That's really rough. Yeah, I always hate when that happens. You're trying to, you're right there. You're trying to power the anti-fairy. You just don't quite get it off in time.
It's Goomba heading into Eastern Palace. Not sure if there's anything in here or if he's just doing it to get it out of the way.
So far, he's not stopping at anything. Also, I wonder where that lamp is. Lamp is always a fun item when it comes to Sporolog that often skipped. Not really needed for runners of this caliber, but it is a nice safety, and it can save a little bit of time if it's in a good spot, and will not save time because you have to go too far out of your way for it. You're not going to gain any time off of getting it.
Yeah, and especially with Mire and Pod both being pendants, those are where most of the dark rooms most of the difficult dark rooms are in those 2 dungeons. So there's even less reason to go for the lamp.
Yeah, like that eastern room that Goomba just went through. That's actually a really hard room if you don't have lamp or fire rod, but it's pretty trivial when you have that fire rod.
Yeah, you just have to know where the torch is, and that's
it. Exactly. Honestly, the most to me, the hardest thing about not having a lamp in with Goomba's setup. I mean, there might be silver arrows on his path somewhere, in which case it really doesn't matter. But having to get the torch glitch with a fire rod instead of a lamp is definitely more of a challenge. Certainly doable.
Yeah.
And
okay, we did it.
Oh, there's our 3rd Turtle Rock Small. So that should be enough for Turtle Rock. Again, assuming that big key chest, the lava chest, doesn't have anything in it.
So yeah, we're seeing it at this point a very, very sizable lead for Goomba. He's got 4 crystals done. He's got most of the items he needs. He's been executing very, very well.
And I do believe this is the Turtle Rock play. And yeah, we do need that. I wonder if that Swamp Palace small key is up there in Turtle Rock somewhere, because Swamp being the unique dungeon where you absolutely have to have that one and only one small key just to get in.
Yeah, I mean, I assume it's up here on the mountain. Otherwise, there's no reason to make this extra climb.
Yeah, exactly. And I suspect Hera will, in Sporolog, you get the greater opportunity. We haven't done Tower of Hera. It's available to us, but ideally you want to do that as your very last dungeon. It's very rare in a regular seed that you actually get to do that, but in Sporolog, it happens all the time. You just go in there, Hera pot up, and you're done. Okay, and at some point he did pick up that Quake, so that's good.
Yeah. Right, Alex heading off to hopefully grab that first crystal here in Skull Woods. So he's got Master Sword. He does have to be a little careful with his health and magic, but he does have that red mail now.
Yeah, in some sense, it kind of comes back to when Goomba and Lynn routed their gloves. They routed the one in Saha first, and they had the Titan's Mitts when they went over to the Dark World. And there was an out-of-logic sword in Super Bunny Cave since they didn't have a Moon Pearl at the time. Alex went and got his first glove on the mountain, and then went and got his second one in Saha. So really didn't have a good opportunity to grab that other glove. And so it's still on Master Sword here.
Okay,
there's that Swamp Small.
Okay, so at this point, Goomba doesn't need anything else, but the pilot will still be kind of checking the path to see if there's any convenient safeties or maybe silver arrows along the way.
At this point, I mean, silver arrows, probably the one thing you might pick up. And the lamp again, if it's in a super, super convenient place. Lamps can be in weird places in these seeds, so it could still show up, but those are the only 2 convenience items at this point that I could see looking for. So if, we might find, if there's a heart container that's easily picked up, I could see picking up something like that. Half magic is another one.
Yeah, half magic can be helpful, especially when you're on Silverless.
Yep. Okay, Alex on his moth fight. And Goomba very careful not to open that door.
Yeah, that's so easy to do just by
really
muscle memory. Yeah, I've done it quite a few times, and it's a disaster when you do it.
It's bad enough when you do it in a regular scene. When you do it in Kisan, it's a complete disaster. And Lynn would have to start looking through that log, like, oh no, where's that other TR small key? And it could be in a bad spot. And very nice, you know, that you have the 2 small keys to not even have to touch Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
Which you don't often get in a regular seed. Now we will have to do this in the dark. This is, to my mind, once you've done it a few times, I actually find this to be one of the easier dark rooms. Because really, you just hold your control in the correct directions, and it'll go, and you just have to know when to change it.
It's kind of deceptively easy. If you haven't practiced it in a while, you can screw it up. And when you screw it up, it's very hard to figure out where the heck you are and get back.
Yeah, I tend to just hold up if I screw it up, and eventually you end up back at the top. But it can take a while, and you can take a lot of damage from the fire bars.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Goomba coming up onto that Tranix fight.
It does take a hit there. You can't really take another one. Maybe depending on what hits him. I'm not sure the exact damage on Blue Mail here. Yeah, didn't quite get the double spin, but does make quick work of finishing off Trinex there.
Alright. There's crystal number 5 for Goomba. So he's got to run back down to Swamp, and then he can just do Hera right before GT. So, I guess since we're in go mode, maybe now it would be a good time to look at the spoiler log and figure out where some of those safeties are. So, we're definitely not going to be getting silvers. I can tell you that. Silvers are on the pedestal.
Oh, baby. Nope, not getting those.
The lamp they might pick up. That is in the basement cage in Hera. So that maybe only takes a few seconds.
You know what? That is quick enough that if you're going to have to do a silverless fight, I think I would pick that up. I think that is just enough of a safety. You don't have half magic. You don't, I mean, the other option I feel like would be to go purchase a blue potion, and that would take longer. So I think that's a good pickup if they think to do that.
Yeah, and if you're wondering about half magic, that's sitting on Lake Hylia Island.
No, we're
so
not
that takes a bit of time to get, so not worse.
Yeah, I think that the lamp is the best one of those in terms of location. It's the amount of magic that saves is pretty significant.
Yeah. Looking through Swamp, I don't see anything they're going to pick up here, so Goomba will just run straight through Swamp.
Yeah, Swamp in full-on go mode feels pretty good.
And then, yeah, so that lamp in Hera, that's the only thing that they might pick up there. And for GT, doesn't look like there's anything. There is a heart container in the post-Moldorm chest, so they might grab that. But that's about it. That's the only other safeties that are really worth grabbing here.
Yeah, they are going to have to drop down and grab one of the hotkeys, though.
That is true, yeah.
I don't believe they've gotten any GT small keys. That's pretty easy. Okay, Alex finishes up Desert. Let's see where he heads next.
Yeah, so Alex still has to get... What does he still have to get? He needs that Swamp Small out of Turtle Rock.
Yep.
He's out of Turtle Rock. He's actually heading into Pod here. No, Eastern. Never mind. Sorry, Eastern. I was going into pod for some reason.
It turns out pod completely irrelevant in this seed.
Yeah. So yeah, he just needs one more Turtle Rock key and that Swamp key out of Turtle Rock. And I guess he'll probably want to grab the Tempered Sword out of Super Bunny Cave at some point.
Yeah, probably on the way up to Turtle Rock, I suppose. That seems to be the most likely time to pick that up. As Goomba about to go into his Argus fight. Pretty easy fight with Tempered Sword. Gonna switch over to the Fire Rod now. Very nice. I think it's a compass. Hey, now we can go back into Turtle Rock and find out how many chests we've opened.
Yeah, if Goomba does want that half magic, now is the time to pick it up. He can just run over from Swamp, but it's a bit of a time investment for something you do not need.
Yeah, interesting point though, since the runners can look and see what their opponents are doing, he might see that he's got a bit of a lead. It looks like that's what he is going to go ahead and pick up that half magic, knowing he does have a bit of a lead. And, I do have the time to pick this up. I think if this were closer, I don't think he goes after this.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. Knowing that he's very far ahead, you may as well grab this now.
Definitely not far enough ahead to go get that pedestal bow, though. I'll tell you, the bow on our silvers on Ped, because this was a V30 seed for me, is it definitely a influencer in one learning to do silverless. So.
Yeah.
Never want to be in that situation.
If you're a newer runner to this game and you want to start learning some tricks to cut your time down, I strongly recommend silverless scanning as one of the first things you should learn.
Yeah, and I always throw out the, if you're trying to learn that Ice Palace bomb jump, because you never know when you're not going to have Samaria for it. I still think that's a super important strat. And what he's going to do, he's going to go ahead and go to the Dark World, and then mirror in front of Hera before he goes in. And then Hera will be very quick.
Yeah. I think again, knowing that you have a lead, you may as well grab the lamp here.
Yeah, I fully expect him to grab that. Just being able to spam that lamp for that torch glitch instead of having to time that fire rod correctly is pretty nice. But we'll see in just a second. Now, if it was the fire lock chest, then yeah, I think I'd probably skip that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Goomba is gonna grab this.
This one I think I'm a little more likely to pick up, even if the race is still close. I feel like this just the amount it does for you is so much more.
Like, unless you're just absolutely super confident that you can grab that torch glitch, you want the lamp.
Meanwhile, Alex back in the blind fight. Much easier time of it when you have a sword. Oh, he's way off script, but he should be fine at this point. He's got red mail.
Yeah, he's putting those sword beams to work. Actually, finishes the fight without taking any damage.
And Oldorm down, so we're going to go back into the Dark World, and those crystals are going to show up. But we already have a big key, so sorry, chat, no guessing game.
Alright, Goomba opening up GT. Nothing we need in here. Again, the only thing he might grab is that heart container in the post-Moldum chest.
It's such a free chest anyway, but he is going to have to go... Yeah, he has to remember to go and drop down and get a small key first.
Yeah.
And that's it, and he'll just head up the tower. Unless there's a small key in one of the chests up above. I hope that's the case. That this isn't a That this isn't a.
I can tell you there is not. So Goomba.
Oops.
Yeah. He's got such a massive lead at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna
even
get
if
up.
he gets all the way up there before he realizes.
He's gonna feel stupid.
Still gonna be fine.
It'll be a little bit of a moment for him, but not gonna cost him. We'll see if he at one point he remembers. It's kind of funny because there's two of them. Like, you know, Lynn should be yelling at him that you need to get a small key. So I guess we'll get to see this twice. We'll get to see. Meanwhile, Alex is trudging on, going into Choto Rock. Did not pick up that sword in Super Bunny. I feel like the time it takes to pick that up is worth it. But he knows he's behind. To answer the question in chat, are we certain that Goomba doesn't already have a small key? The fact that the key total says 0 means he doesn't already have a small key.
we see Goomba's pilot.
Just figured it out.
There we go. I wonder if Lynn was maybe just trolling Goomba a little bit here. There's that swamp key for Alexhax. So I do believe that's go mode for Alexhax. Again, he's very far behind though.
And that powder coming in handy. We get ourselves back up from 2 hearts to 6 hearts. Yeah,
nice full magic
yeah,
drop
it's a
there.
nice drop. That's definitely one you want to go back for.
Goomba actually almost did it. Arrows there, having to grab that arrow pot. That can be a little tricky because sometimes that arrow pot can despawn.
It can.
That can be really annoying.
And went ahead and used that red potion. You might as well here. Make good use of that cape over that bridge. And we get to see the gauntlet again.
A little bit slower if it time through the gauntlet this time around, but again, so far ahead, it's not a big deal.
He's down to 2 hearts. He's gonna have to be a little careful. You already used that red bottle. I don't think he's got another one.
Yeah, he's got the powder though.
Yep, you might powder the bunny bean here. Yeah, he's already gonna. He's gonna just go ahead and powder this thing. It does kind of change the way because this is part of the same super tile of the land mollusk. It does make it a little bit more difficult here because those land mollusks will start spawning as soon as you go into the super tile. But it actually does better, I think, this time on it than he did the first one. So.
Yeah, Alex meanwhile here having a little bit of trouble with this Poke Room. Got bunny beamed actually.
Oh, and he's down to not enough magic to easily deal with this.
And that could be a problem because he's going to need magic for the room, the maze.
Yep. I'm not sure if that magic he has in there is enough. Now, Samaria does not take a lot of magic, so it might be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be enough for 1 block.
And he needs 2, so that would be a problem. And there's nothing in those pots whatsoever.
Goomba, though, all the way up to Torches 2 now. Gotta remember to grab that key off the Helmosaurs.
At least if he forgets this one, it's not as much of a backtrack to go back to
Yeah.
it. I'm definitely gonna want to powder these. Well, no, he doesn't need to. He's got full health, so just needs to grab this magic pot here.
Yeah. Okay, Alex luckily did have enough magic there. Goomba is going to grab that last heart container for a total of seven heart containers on red mail. Is pretty comfy for
Yeah, for
a
players
runner
of
like
this, yeah,
Goomba.
for these players, absolutely.
Alex is going to take that safety door.
Yeah, I think that's smart of him. Oh, almost got a second shot on that one. Not getting good patterns here.
Yeah, I lost count of cycles, but that's at least 5.
Okay,
All
there,
right, there we go. All right, Goomba on to Ganon now.
Yep, should be a pretty standard fight. Tempered sword, silverless.
And Alex, again, without that tempered sword, has to be very careful with his magic here on Trinex. Cannot afford to miss more than 1 or 2 shots.
And that ice is not going to help him. Boom again, nice double spins there.
Oh no, Alex just wasted 2 fire red shots.
Yeah, if
Did
he
you
doesn't
get
know
it?
this and,
No.
no.
Oh, just barely got
just
it
barely,
on the last
okay.
hit. Okay, that was very lucky. Goomba, meanwhile, making quick work of the first couple gate phases of Ganon. And Alexhax gets Trinex down. Goomba, meanwhile, though, on phase 4 here.
Did get that torch glitch. Be 12 spins total here. Doing a very nice job so far. Setting up nicely for triples.
And
that's
Ganon is down.
Alright, Goomba gonna go ahead and cross that bridge with official race time of 53:34. GG's to Goomba. And Alex is gonna go ahead and forfeit at this point. I can't say that I blame him.
Yeah, he's still got quite a bit. Two crystals and a whole GT left to go, so decides he does not want to finish this one. But a very fast time. Very well run seed for Goomba, and very nice routing, of course, from Luna Lane. So I guess we will hang on for a bit and see if the runners want to join us for an interview.
Yeah, and maybe the pilots as well.
Great. Let's not forget the pilots.
I think I might be able to get some of them.
So yeah, again, Goomba showing why he's one of the top runners in this game, just blazing through the seed, no problems with the execution really. Alex just running into some problems early, taking a couple deaths on Death Mountain, and not able to get that sword out of Super Bunny. So just things kind of snowballing, and Goomba just taking that lead and running with it. But get your GGs in chat for both of our runners. This is not an easy mode at all, especially if you're new to it. But even if you're experienced with it, it can still be very, very difficult.
And it looks like we're gonna get all 4 of our competitors, our 2 runners, Alexhax and Goomba, as well as their pilots, Catabat and Lin, respectively. GGs, everyone.
GG.
Hey, GG.
GG's.
GG.
So yeah,
I don't want to talk about it.
what don't you want to talk about?
Exactly.
I mean, it was unfortunately it was.
I mean, Moon Pearl and Checkerboard. I mean, is as a start.
The early game sequence was pretty funny.
Yeah. So Alexhax and Catabat, you guys started off with a Houlihan. Is that just your normal route?
Yeah, that's just to give us a bit of time to look at the spoiler,
Yeah.
see where
Sure.
some important early items are.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate to see the money turned out to be pretty much useless. But it does come in handy sometimes, that's for sure. Let's see what else happened.
So, well, one of the plays that I like that Goomba, you and Lin did was getting that glove in Saha and then Super Bunny, grabbing the second glove on the mountain so that you could Super Bunny to get your sword.
I didn't plan it. I just when Goomba was the mountain.
I didn't even know the sword was there until it was already in Paradox Cave. Then Lin tells me, hey, there's a sword in Super Bunny Cave. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What he did not tell me is that there was also a Skullwood small key in Super Bunny Cave, so I had to get the other one. But, whatever.
Oh,
And then-
that reminds me. Yeah, you guys actually went all the way down to Zelda Cell for Skullwood Small Key. Was that a mistake?
No,
Okay, so you actually.
the Desert Small Key was in the pod prison in Skullwoods, so we needed to grab that because the ice rod was in Compass chest.
Okay.
Yeah, but
No, the other side was in desert. I thought it was a Skullwood small key and
Yeah, but the Skull Small Key locked the Desert Small
the
Key.
desert small key to get. Okay,
Locked.
gotcha.
yeah, I was
Gotcha,
just
Lin.
thinking. I guess you could have
Now, yeah,
dropped
that makes
in.
sense.
I mean, I'm
Was
pretty
there
sure
something
that
in
grabbing the key in Zelda Cell was faster than going back out from Offula and dropping in to get the desert key and save quitting out. So,
Yeah, I buy that.
Oh, I see. Because you needed bombos from the boomerang chest anyway. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
some reason,
that's a
I
good
missed
point.
that bombos was there. I thought you were going all the way to Zelda Cell just for Skull.
No,
No,
we need
no.
bombs.
Okay, that
Yeah,
makes
then-
more sense.
And then Meyer having just about everything.
yeah.
Yeah, because you picked up that Meyer big key. We weren't sure when you got it because it was in Blind's Hut, and there was lots of stuff
Yeah.
in Blind's Hut. So it was like, did they
I don't
pick it
know.
up because there's like you just pick up everything, or did they actually
I
need
mean,
it? Of course, it
In
turns
the
out.
early game, in the early game,
It
I
was so
don't-
early, like, we couldn't be certain yet. So,
Yeah,
and, like, there
that's
was so much
reasonable.
stuff in there anyway, I just picked it up.
So a couple of safeties you picked up along the way after you were in Go mode were the half magic and lamp. So I guess you guys knew you were pretty far ahead, so you were able to take the time to
Yeah.
grab those.
I mean-
if this was a close race, which of those do you think you grabbed?
the lamp.
Yeah, I would have grabbed
Yeah,
the
that's
lamp,
what
not the half
That's what we were
magic.
saying. Yeah, we were figuring that because I mean, yeah, you can get the torch glitch with the fire rod. I mean, it's more than. I mean, I'm sure you're more than capable of doing it, but it's just so much simpler with the lamp. There's so much less magic use.
I figured, like, I'm pretty sure that grabbing the half magic was just blatantly a time loss, but it made the gauntlet a bit more comfy. So comfy, in fact, that I did it twice.
That's right. Yeah, we're wondering how long it took because we kept saying he needs to grab the small key from the basement.
Yeah, I
And
want to
we went
know.
out.
I want to know, Lynn. Did you tell Goomba right away, or did you let him?
No, I wasn't paying attention. Like I'm not gonna lie. When we were in go mode, my focus just decreased by a lot, and
I'm
then
just so
look
used
away,
to
and I see Goomba climbing with 0 keys, and I'm like,
I don't know. I'm just really used to us routing in a GT small key earlier in the seeds. I wasn't really thinking about it.
that's true. There's also that. I usually, in our practice, I'm trying to route in a GT key so he doesn't have to get it. But this time I didn't find any that was on the way, so. And I forgot to tell him.
Yeah, they didn't feel like they were. I mean, granted, they were chest you skip, but obviously they're not the ones that had the GT small key.
So Alexhax and Catabat, you guys, I mean, this is a difficult mode, to be fair, but you guys seem to be a little less sure of like chest locations. Like Alex opened up quite a few chests that had things like maps and stuff like that. Would you say that was just maybe not being as thorough as you could be when reading the log, or what would you say was that?
I think the main reason for that is that in the last season of Invitational League, I used to be our team's pilot in both spoiler races, and we practiced quite a lot back then. But we actually never, or almost never, practiced with Kato as a pilot. We actually never did, and we just thought we knew that Goomba and Lin Lin Din would be pretty tough opponents, and we were trying our best. But we're like, okay, we see what's going to come, and we'll take whatever we get out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think we only lost because Alex didn't have quick swap enabled.
Oh god, I can't even play this game without quick swap.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's become pretty addictive.
Right?
You know the bad thing about quick swap is for us commentators and our trackers when we're not sure if you have something, because we were not at one point. We're like, did he go pick up that Quake or not yet? And he
We forgot. I didn't see it. I forgot.
The
about
answer is no, we didn't.
I saw the boots. Okay, I'm like, okay.
Migo boots.
Migo boots. And he was going back for T-Sound, so I kind of missed it. And after when he went back to T-Sound, I totally forgot about it. And I was like,
well, by the time you needed it, you had it at least. You know?
It was like a maybe 15-second time waste. It wasn't that significant, so.
Yeah, we had it when you got the Turtle Rock. As long it was bad enough the GT tower climb. You didn't try and open up Turtle Rock without having the right medallion at least. So.
Right. So I think we're going to start to wrap things up here. I do believe this is the only league race we have today.
Yeah, it's definitely the only invitational.
Invitational, yeah. I think they're
in the invitational, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the next one is tomorrow. I want to say at 5. Let me actually pull up the schedule. So
Yeah,
sure.
so
yeah,
5
o'clock
PM,
tomorrow.
That's between the Spoilers and Team Hime. So Zelga Dissen versus Dragon Strike.
Same division.
Shady Force and Ravis piloting.
Yeah, I feel like there's a bit of a hangover from SG Live because it's not a lot of races on the schedule. So we're going to have a lot of races over the weekend because a lot of people still need to get their races scheduled in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were busy with SG Live, so maybe they're going to schedule races for the weekend so they actually get a bit of time to practice.
Yeah. And this is something that I don't blame people for wanting to practice it. So
it's really hard. It's a very difficult mode.
Yeah, but it is fun to watch, and fun to see all the low percent stuff you guys got to do in this. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for us. Again, shout out to Jinxie Girl for tracking for us today, and of course my co-com Tracy M. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to give our runners a follow. We got Alexhax 96 and Goomba 90. And I would say to give the pilots a follow too, but they're not in the runner command. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Tracy, do you have anything to add?
pretty much all I got. But again, thanks. I definitely want to make sure we do thank our tracker, Jinxie Girl. It's a hard work doing that tracking. Even I don't know. Maybe it's harder with the spoiler log because it just things go so fast and furious. Trying to keep up with the runners. So definitely shout outs to her.
All right. Well, I've been Antium, and have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.
I'll see you all next time.